This started with a conversation that I had with Brian last night. We are constantly having conversations about spirituality, our relationship with God, the divine, source, universe, whatever you call it. He says to me that he has a deeper relationship with God when he is under the influence of plant medicine. And then I said to him, I actually always feel like I'm in relationship with God, and I'm more in relationship with God than I am not. And so he asked me, is it still like that now? And I would say that let's rewind back 3.5 to 4 years ago, before Maya. I would say that yes, it was an ongoing experience that I had with God, and that was because I found God inside of being present and inside of gratitude. And it was a lot easier to be present back in the day. Okay, let's rewind back even further. So for about 3+ years, I was vegetarian, vegan, or pescatarian. I didn't eat any beef for about 10 years. And then I was working a job that required me to be present. Otherwise, I would mess up. It was a requirement to be present. So every time I was at work, and that was at least 5 days a week or more, and 8 hours a day, I would practice being present from the moment I put on my apron to setting up the tables and then to being with customers till the end of my shift. So it was a practice that I was doing about 8 hours a day. On top of that, I was practicing yoga regularly 5 to 7 times a week because I had the time and the resources to do so. So I also did not have a car, so my life was very limited, but then I also wasn't always distracted by the world outside of my 1-mile radius. So in essence, I was living like your modern day monk. So of course I would have this intimate relationship with the divine because it was very quiet. It wasn't noisy inside of my life that I had created, and that was just me. And then when Brian came into the picture, it became a little bit more complicated, but it was much easier to manage because I still have my identity, he has his identity, and even though we had conflict, I still had my own, and I didn't really have to worry about his because he was responsible for himself. And so now that I am a mom, my sense of self has expanded literally outside of myself. Yes, it is a lot harder to be spiritual. It's a lot harder to be present because for me, it's nearly impossible to be present if I don't know that my child's well-being is cared for or taken care of. So it's extremely harder right now as I am becoming a mom, and I still think I am a new mom, to be present. And at the same time, this is what happens. It's inevitable because I had said a long time ago that my life is about spiritual growth. Therefore, inside of that context of spiritual growth, there are times when you will be required to grow. And for me, the universe, God, source, gave me the opportunity to grow even bigger than I had ever imagined, which was to make me a mother. So yes, it is a lot harder to be connected to source, the divine, and at the same time, that is the assignment. That is where I am meant to grow inside of at this moment, and that I don't have to make myself wrong for it or compare myself to who I was 3.5 to 4 years ago, maybe even 5, 6, or 7 years ago before Brian as well, because I am a different person. I am no longer who I was before I became a mom. This is the reason why I created the Home Body Experience. It is to show people my personal growth and development and also my own spiritual journey. And these conversations are conversations that I'm having all the time with people that I can have these conversations with, especially my husband. And so for me, I invite you to be open and also take on what does resonate and then leave what doesn't for you inside of the home body experience, because I really do believe that there are many vehicles, paths, tools, models, systems that allow us to be connected to source energy, the divine, God, the universe, whatever you call it. And this is fun for me, and I love having experiences like this and conversations like this. And sometimes they can get challenging, and there is almost always contrast, but that is the beauty of life, and that is actually where growth and expansion happens. So thank you for listening, and if you want more, please like, subscribe, and share this content with people that you think would appreciate it, or maybe not. And we can have conversations around and about whatever it is that lights you up. Thank you. Namaste.